Welcome to all of you. This is the practical session for the course of PAP 244, that is Post Harvest Engineering of Cereal Pulses and Oilseed. So today we are going to see the practical glance on the material handling equipment. So what are the material handling equipments in processing units are mostly used? So there are basically four material handling equipments are very important. One of them, which is belt conveyor. This is the model, laboratory model. In the processing unit, actually these kind of machineries are very large in size actually. After that, belt conveyor, we have it as screw conveyor, and one more conveying mechanism we have in another laboratory, that is the bucket elevator. All these three conveyor systems we are going to see today, the practical approach, how they are working and what are their components, what are their capacity, how to calculate the belt tension, and all these things we are going to cover in today's practical lecture. Okay, so this is the belt conveyor. So this is the endless belt. This is a continuous endless belt which is rotating on a two pulley, and rest of the pulley, the rest of the supporting mechanism is idlers. Idlers are provided to remove the friction between belt and pulley. So what idlers are basically doing, they are just pushing that belt to get a smooth relative motion between belt and pulley. After that, if we put the material on the belt, then we have to see that there is no spillage of the material. So that is the main point we have to consider while transporting on the belt conveyor. So belt conveyors are definitely used in the processing unit. Wherever you go, cereal processing, wheat processing, then cleaning unit, wherever you can go, the splitting of the dal, all these dal mills, you will see that belt conveyors are definitely used. So this is the belt conveyor, and this is the endless belt. These are the pulley, idlers. So three important technical concepts are there. One is the belt speed. We have to maintain the belt speed not less than 3.5 meter per second. So if you are using that speed less than 3.5, then the capacity of output of the product may be affected. Okay, after that, spacing between idlers are very important. Spacing between idlers and tension of the belt tension. So belt tension is all these factors are used to calculate how much HP of motor is used for the driving of the belt. Understand? So this, you can see the back side of that. The motor is provided, and here is that pulley is provided. So that motor will give us the capacity of transportation. How much ton you are going to transport from one end to another end. That depends on your belt speed. That depends on your belt weight, idler's capacity, pulley, diameter of the pulley, everything is involved in calculating the capacity. In the theory lecture, we are going to see that how capacity of belt conveyor can be calculated. Understand? So three important things you have to keep it in your mind. Speed, belt speed should be 3.5 meter per second, idler diameter, and what is the HP of the motor used for the driving mechanism. How is it going to drive? So this is all about the belt conveyor. After that, we are going to see the screw conveyor. So this is another. You can see that how it is working like that. Understand? So once we put the material here, it will come to this point. How much time it takes from this point to this point is calculated velocity of transportation. Understand? So velocity of transportation, if you know that, then you can calculate the capacity. In 1 hour, 1 ton of the grain is transported from that point to this point. This is going to be calculated on the grain. After that, so this kind of conveying system can reduce the manual interpretation interference of the labor. So you can minimize the labor quantity by using this kind of procedures. After the screw conveyor. So where screw conveyor is, so you can say that a screw conveyor is mostly used where you have to transport the vertical incline type of transportation. So here horizontal transportation you can also use. And the main thing is that you can also incline it up to 15 degree slope. Up to 15 degree you can make that belt conveyor incline. But if you have to increase the slope up to 45 degree or 42 degree, if your aim is to transfer it, incline it, then you need to use the screw conveyor, because screw conveyor can be transport your grain to the 42 degree slope, so that screw conveyor is used. And mostly belt conveyor for long distances you can use, screw conveyor for very less distances you can use. This is the main difference between screw conveyor and belt conveyor. So here is that belt conveyor where this is called as the boot section. This is called as the boot section, and this is called as the head section. Actually, the discharge is at the head section. You can see that at the bottom here. Here is the discharge unit. From here, your grain will be held trapped between this screw. That screw is also called as the agar mechanism. Agar, A-U-G-A-R, agar mechanism. In the agar mechanism, due to the enclosement of the grain is going to enclose between the screw periphery, and it trapped and going to get it lifted up to the discharge point. So like that, this is the simple mechanism. Screw can hold. It depends on how much capacity of the grain is going to trap between the screw. That depends on your final output capacity of the transportation. See, in 1 hour how much grain is transported to the second floor, to the third floor, if you are going to transport inclined. Understand? So this is also same. Here is the main very important terminology is screw pitch. What is screw pitch? Screw pitch is that in one rod, on the one rod, the distance between each consecutive screw is called as a screw pitch. If screw pitch is much more, then the transportation capacity is also much more. So that it affects the transportation capacity and finally your output capacity. Okay, so we can see that another mechanism. Now we can continue that this is the third conveying system, which is very important. That is the bucket elevator. Mostly vertical transport. In many of the industry, you can see that definitely bucket elevator is going to use. In packaging section, final packaging section, bucket elevator is mostly used. So what bucket elevator is basically doing? Bucket elevator is using the centrifugal type discharge. That means if your bucket carrying from here, you can see that from the bottom, the scooping type action will be taken. That means in the bottom your grains are there, and bucket will scoop down that grain from this point and transport it like that. This is the incline. Actually vertical type of buckets are available, but this is a laboratory model working on the solar. Then here, from here it is coming through the belt. That is the not belt, that is the chain drive. In bucket elevator there is a chain drive used, and the buckets are going to carry the some amount of grains. That is the 70% only bucket should be fulfilled, and all 70% grains going to fall down here. So this is a centrifugal discharge. Once you can get that, sometimes what will happen, this system could be here, depending on how fast your chain is rotating. If the chain is rotating at higher speed, distance of discharge is very much long, because it is inversely proportional. If you see the formula, W square by R, GR, that is the formula for centrifugal force, centrifugal discharge. W square by G into R. W is the weight of the grain, V is the velocity of the belt or chain, G is the gravitational acceleration, because you see that after falling down, gravity plays its role. So gravity is also important here onwards, and the radius of rotation. That means if you calculate the radius of rotation here, that is very important. When it is turning down, if it is turning down, if you can see that, if it is turning like that, you can see that, like that. It will throw the grains by using centrifugal discharge. This is called as a bucket elevator, and it works on the principle of centrifugal force. Understand? Two things are also important here. Boot section, that is the ground section. From there, grain is going to get up, and the discharge section. This is the discharge unit. And vertical transport is there. Again, the capacity depends on the size of the buckets, speed of the belt or chain, and all these things. The size and capacities are dependent. So this is the laboratory model of bucket elevator, which is very important for the practical purpose. Okay. In theory lecture, we are going to take some examples on bucket elevator and belt conveyor. Understand? Okay. Thank you. I hope that you gone through this entire terminology and the concept. Thank you. 9:30 minutes.